and then to educate more. And I say that I've always had a very strong spiritual belief in things that I've kept to myself. I don't talk about my spiritual side. Everybody, I believe, has voices in their head. Everybody, however you choose to recognize that. So I was raised strict Catholic, which I had, myself had, because of a lot of things, don't necessarily believe in. However, I believe, like, when you lived in hell, like, it's you see things different. And I believe in my theories too, is that when, like, follow God, I follow the voices, I follow whatever you want to say, right? We all have internal dialogue for whatever reason. Okay, well, that is also going to be whatever those voices are. That's a reflection of yourself and the voices that have been around you. And I believe that's a reflection of our old stories, our self-worth, and our own knowledge, and what that is. And that's why I've taken a lot of time to explore this PTSD thing. So as now this next stage in fasting in a different way, there's a spiritual component as well to it that I'm going through. And it's like learning to get back to yourself, celebrating yourself as you are. Because I've spent so much time criticizing myself. As I look at this video, what can I do? Criticize more and more. That's what I spent so much time doing. And that's also the irony of having, gone into a profession that was focused on my appearance. So losing that just makes you, right, and not valuing character. But I would never minimize, or I never in my life spent any time ever criticizing anyone else's appearance. And I was so cautious of that, never to do that to my child. And at the time, my stepdaughter, I was so aware never to do that. I was so cautious because of, having a mother who spent all her time talking about her weight. I made sure I didn't talk about those things in front for myself and put a value. So I was so cautious about that. So I internalized that. And then it all came back. So in the last year, then realizing how critical I was to myself. But the irony is, in that last decade, when I felt loved and I was better and I was healed, but I realized I wasn't giving that love to myself. I was giving it outward, and it was the projection of what I believed those people thought of me. And when I discovered I was wrong, that broke my heart. And why? Because they're not around. And then it's the actions people take. You can't make assumptions for what other people think. I've learned that. It's a tough lesson. People will show you exactly what they think or who they are. That's why I don't believe in words. I believe in actions. However, you have to understand the words and the dialogue to understand the actions. And that's what you have to understand, the relationship you have with yourself first and where that came from. The people that were abused and grew up on survival have a different view of the world. And then that's also divided. And that's what they call narcissism.